1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Here. Today we're going to work on the classic hymn Amazing Grace in the key of G. This is one of my favorite hymns and it's a must-know for any bluegrass guitar player. I've got two arrangements worked up. The first one is just going to stay very close to the basic melody, so we're going to work on moving around the middle strings of the guitar, adding some basic pull-offs, and kind of working on just picking through the basic melody. For the second arrangement, we're going to work on adding some more ornaments, so some more slides, adding some alternate picking to fill up the longer notes of the melody. So again, just kind of some basic bluegrass style ways to fill up a great melody. I'm going to break down both solos note for note and then show you a bunch of backup I would do for this song. So how to do easy strumming in 3/4, how to do some easy chord walks or bass walks between the chords. I'm going to break that all down right now. And if you're watching the preview of this lesson, you can head over to my website, mikeheadingmusic.com, and grab the full-length lesson. You'll get access to watch all the videos, and you can download the tabs and the practice tracks. All right, here's Amazing Grace in the key of G. All right, let's start breaking down this beginner lesson to Amazing Grace in the key of G. So we're just going to start with the absolute basic melody. So let me play the first 5 measures, and then we'll start breaking it down. Here we go. Do that a few times. 1, 2. One more time, real slow. 1, 2. Okay, so remember in this song we're in 3/4, so we have just 3 beats per measure. And a quarter note is 1 beat. So we're going to start on beat 3 so you can count 1, 2. And then we're going to play the open 4th string on beat 3. And you'll see I'd follow the pick directions below the tab. So the stable looking cymbals are downs. So on all the down strokes, the quarter notes, we're going to play down strokes. On any of the ands, we're going to play up strokes. So the upstroke symbol looks like a V. And you'll see that later on in the lesson. So we're going to start with a downstroke on the open 4th string. And then we're going to play the open 3rd string for beat 1 of measure 2. So measure 1 is really just a pickup and we're just playing 1 note. So I would count 1, 2, 3, and then you're playing the open 3rd string on beat 1 of measure 2. So let's do that one more time. 1, 2. And then that's a half note, so you got 1, 2. Then we're going to do a little triplet lick, and let's break this down. This is probably the trickiest part of the basic version. So I'm going to use my 3rd finger and 1st finger. I'm going to play the 4th fret on the 3rd string. I'm going to do a pull-off, so I'm going to keep my 1st finger down on the 2nd fret, and I'm going to pick the 4th fret, and then pull off. So you have to keep the pressure of your 1st finger down. You could try using your pinky, but I think 1st and 3rd finger is easiest. And I like kind of pulling back down toward my palm. And it's okay if you kind of pull on the string a little bit and just kind of snap it. And then we're going to play the open 3rd string. And with our right hand, really important, we're just doing down, up, down, up. So even though we're adding that pull off, that's what we're doing there. So remember, pull-offs, hammer-ons, and slides are substitutes for pick notes. So if I wanted to do it with all picking, I'd have to go, which is trickier, right? So I took out that 2nd pick note and did a pull-off. And why are we doing it all on 1 string like that? I think it's easier rather than doing it like that 4th fret on the 3rd string. It's also your same as your open 2nd string. But if you go 1, one, you can't do a pull off across different strings, so I can't pull off to a lower string. Also, it's kind of easier to keep all those notes if I have them on the same string. I can control the duration. Whereas if I go, then that open second string rings out, which in some instances can be good, but in this instance, I think it's easier to kind of control the notes all on one string. So that's what we're doing there. We have 1, 2, and then it'd be on beat 3, and it's a triplet, so the easiest way to count is just say triplet. So you got 3 notes, triplet, triplet. Really important that you keep your first finger down. The other thing I'd recommend is get a really solid first note. The more first note you have to work with, you'll really hear that pull off. Your first note is kind of your reference point. And if you're having a lot of trouble with that and you want to take it out, you could just go open second string and then second fret, but you do it as 8th note. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, just like that. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, like that. But I like adding the triplet, kind of more similar to how you might kind of play it with your voice, right? So you're kind of sliding and bending through notes. Remember, a lot of times we have frets on a guitar, right? So we can't always exactly play note for note melody. Like a voice doesn't have frets, right? So if you're singing the melody, you might not go and do 3 distinct notes like that, but you might kind of slide through those notes or bend into them, and that's just the cool thing about a voice. So that's what we're trying to kind of mimic on the guitar, is those pull-offs, those sliding into notes, which we'll do later on, where you think about the basic melody and how you'd sing it. Sometimes it's slightly different than how you'd maybe play it on a guitar, because again, we have frets on a guitar. We have to, we can't slide or bend into notes the same way a voice can. So let's do that one more time. So we have 1, 2. And if you're having trouble playing that first half note of measure 2, what you could do is play 2 downstrokes. So play 2 quarter notes. So you could go 1, 2. And that would help you get the timing of it, and then you could, take it out once you have it down. The other thing you could do is just count 1, 2, and then for measure 3, after we do that triplet, so we do down, up, then we're going to hit the open second string. It's going to be a half note, and then on beat 3, we're going to play the second fret on the 3rd string. And you could use your first or second finger. I'm going to use my second finger. I think that feels easiest. So you do that pull off, and then you play the open second string, and then you kind of slide your hand back down, and then you play that note. And then measure 4, open 3rd string, half note, down to the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and then open 4th string. So very similar timing on measures 3, 4, and 5. So we have a half note followed by a quarter note. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So very similar timing. Again, you could do that same thing. Substitute quarter notes for half notes if you're having trouble with that. You're just filling it up to get the timing down. So measure 5, same timing, 1, 2, 3, and then beat 3 of measure 5 is the pickup. So it's basically the equivalent of measure 1. And then we're going to go back into our opening melody line. So this is the same as measure 2. And then right here we're going to play the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. I'm going to use my first finger, and then use your 3rd finger up on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So you're basically kind of going into this D chord for measure 8. We're going to play that note. And we're going to really play that, get some good tone on that, because we need that to ring out for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So let's do measures 5 through 8. So we have 1, 2, 3. And this is a good song to practice connecting your tone too. So I'm not going to go, and lift this finger up, keep that note down. This is a great song to practice connecting those phrases. And then we're going to let that ring out. And then measure 9 is you have 2 rests, and then on beat 3, we're going to play the open second string. So you can really let that 3rd fret ring out as long as you need to. You can do 1, 2, 3. You know, you kind of keep it down. And then on beat 3 of measure 9. So you don't have to like you don't have to pull the 3rd fret off and let 2 rest. You know, that's just the timing of it. So you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And on beat 3, play the open second string. And then we're going to put that 3rd fret down on the 2nd string, but I'm going to switch to my 2nd finger, because that's going to free my 3rd and 1st finger up to play that pull off. So really important in this lesson as well is thinking of where you're going next. For example, when I played that 3rd fret 2nd string in measure 9, I was right here ready to go into my D chord. So, you know, I could have used my 2nd finger right there, but this D chord you've already done. And then right here in measure 10, you know, I want to use my 2nd finger because now I'm freed up to play that next phrase. Whereas if I used my 3rd finger there, you know, then I have to jump off to play that next phrase. And you wouldn't always know this right when you're first learning a song, but this is something you can think about after you've been playing a song for a few weeks, or you feel like you kind of got it down. See if there's any way you can work smarter, not harder, right? So think about where you're going next, and that's going to determine what fingers, you know, is going to make the song easiest to play. So again, in measure 9, we have 1, 2, open 2nd string on beat 3, and then you're going to switch to your 2nd finger, 3rd fret, 1, 2. So that's a half note like we've been doing. And then do that triplet. And then open 2nd string is measure 11. Measure 11 and 12 are the same as 3 and 4. So you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So 11 through 13 are the same through 3 as 3 through 5. So we've already played that part. Is the same, our opening lick again, so 1, 2, and then 15 is the same as 3, it's just an ending lick this time. Instead of setting up to go to a C chord, we're just using that ending phrase as a walk down. So we have, I'll play 13 through 16, this is the end of the basic melody. 1, 2, open 3rd string is going to be the end of the basic melody. That's going to get us into the 2nd part. So let's play the whole basic melody to make sure we got it down. Then we'll start adding some more ornaments, some extra more picking, and spice up the melody a little bit. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Do it one more time, a little faster. That's the basic melody. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that's the basic melody. So again, use that as your reference point once we start adding more ornaments and we start adding some extra fluff, right? If you're ever in doubt, refer back to the basic melody. That's going to get you through the song. All right, let's break down the more advanced version now. All right, let's take it from the end of measure 16. So we just have kind of like a fill measure at the end of the basic version to get us into the more advanced version. So again, we're going to play the open 3rd string on beat 1. That's like the last note of the basic version. So we walk it down. And And then on beat 3, we're going to play the open 4th string. And then on beat 1 of measure 17 is the open 3rd string again. That's just like a fill measure, basically, if you were playing rhythm. And then the song would start over. So we just have like one measure to basically fill between the basic version. That's all we did there. And then we're going to do an open 2 hammer-on the 4th string on beat 3. So instead of just hitting the open 4th string, like we did in the basic version, now we're going to do an open 2 hammer-on. Just a little more advanced way to do it. Same thing with those pull-offs. Get a really solid first note and really hammer on. Again, I'm not playing 2 notes. It's not down, up with your pick. You could do that if you wanted to, but again, to practice, hammer-ons, slides, pull-offs take the place of a pick note. So I'm changing the pitch with my left hand without playing another note with my right hand. It's not down, up, it's just down. And then we're going to play the open 3rd string as measure 18.